Sony Michel, who finished running back 31 last year, 247 rushes, 912 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, only 20 targets for 12 receptions and 94 yards through the air. What are your thoughts around Sony Michel?
Sony Michel is a guy that coming into the 2019 season, I had pretty high aspirations for. I was kind of pounding that table pretty good, thinking that he would be, a running back 2 that you can get, as essentially a running back 3, right? He's kind of going at that 27, 28, 29 spot. But I had aspirations that he was going to finish, right about running back 20, maybe just inside the top 20, and kind of build off of how he finished his rookie campaign. Slid him further down my rankings in hopes that maybe he proves me wrong. I still think he has running back 2 upside. But he's a guy that I think I have him ranked 45th, something around that neighborhood. The guy still has a ton of talent. He's still a great one-cut back. He still has some burst to get up into that second level if he can find it. That's been the biggest problem, is last year he didn't see the second level very often. He was 2 yards in a cloud of dust. And that offense that New England was running last year was not efficient enough to be able to sustain that. They had to find other ways to get yardage because 2 yards in a cloud of dust meant that they were going to punt. The offense was just not what we were used to it being over the course of the last 17, 18 years. So buyer beware. There is some upside there, but for me, he's going to have to fall pretty hard and pretty far for me to entertain hitting that draft button.
The point that I made earlier was, there would be weeks where it was like, will it be Sony Michel's week? Will it be James White's week? Here's a good illustration of that. In 5 games last year, he had 20 or more rushing attempts. In 4 games last year, he had 10 or less rushing attempts. And it's just, which Sony Michel are you going to get? What game plan will the Patriots have in place? I mean, that it is a buyer beware. It's a situation where you need to understand that if you've got Sony Michel on your roster, and if this plan that they've had kind of carries into this year, if what happened last year carries into this year, you're gonna have games where he gets in a lot of touches, where he gets a lot of those rushing attempts. But then there's also going to be those weeks where he doesn't, and it's not going to be his week. So it is, in my opinion, with Sony Michel, it is feast or famine, and I'm not sure that I want to take that risk, especially when there's other choices out there where they're going to be a little bit more consistent